Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Marvel's Runaways. Season 1, Episode 5 is called Kingdom. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, first and foremost, we actually got a comment on the last episode, because we at the end of the last one, we were like, oh, who could have kidnapped Alex? Oh, we have no idea. And there was a comment that said, do you think it's just the cousin gangster dude that Alex, his dad had a thing with? And I'm like, you know what? That is so obvious, and I don't know why.
I think I blanked on that entire plot.
That's exactly what I
was kind
said.
of bored of it.
Yeah, I felt like we completely just forgot that entire plot line, because it was all in episode 2, if I recall correctly. And I think we just blanked. But it seemed, as soon as the comment said that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's absolutely what it is.
And then this opens with a flashback with the two of them. I was like, yeah, okay.
It's absolutely him. That said, as much as we had complaints about that plot line in episode 2, I don't think there was anything in this episode that bothered me about it.
Agreed.
Because everything facilitated something with the kids.
Yeah, this was a much better use of it.
Yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, the setup paid off, at least for now. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with them next, but at least for now, I was down with it. Actually, this is the best episode of the show so far.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think all the kids got to work together again. They had a drive at the start because they all had to try and save Alex. You know, Nico got the rest of them together. Except Chase, who was still working with his dad, he popped up kind of more last minute. And they all sort of revealed that they all have something. Except poor Alex. Alex doesn't have anything.
He's the hacker.
Oh, of course, yes. I'm still expecting something at some point.
No, I don't think he will. I'm expecting him to be the tech and more the leader.
Okay, he's the regular human being who can lead.
He's the Batman, essentially.
He's the Batman. All right. By the way, can I just point out my? I think it's distasteful when your answer message is a reference to Star Wars. I just think that's a bit lame. All right.
Honestly, I just hate personalized voicemails.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Just stop it. Just have the stock one. It's fine. Leave a message after the beep. That's all you need. Don't do some stupid thing.
I will agree unless you can get Liam Neeson to read G's speech from Taken, in which case I'm putting that in.
That's fair. The only times I have liked voicemails, like in this context, are on Archer, where it's a running gag and it's hilarious and it's fantastic.
Okay. I have no concept of comparison for that because I have never seen Archer.
It basically just pretends he's answering it, and it goes on for like a minute and a half, and then it'll be like, I got you again.
Oh, that's not original to that. I've seen that done before.
No, but the extent that it goes in Archer is past the point where it should be funny till it gets funny again.
I'm sure that was like Ross on Friends for an episode had an answer.
Oh
yeah.
Like, but this is like every few episodes.
Okay. And does he always change it so it sounds different?
Yeah, it's always a different one.
Okay, it sounds convincing. Okay, potential there. Maybe I'll watch Archer someday. But yeah, so the kids all come together and they all kind of reveal what they can do. Garrett doesn't actually get to reveal it, admittedly, but what I love is that after everything goes down and they're in like the little cafe or whatever it is, and they're all kind of saying, oh, you can do this and I can do that. Like, Molly's like, yeah, but Garrett can tell a dinosaur what to do.
A dinosaur. Like, yeah, you're right, that's the coolest.
And what I love about it is I love that after everything that's happened, not a single person even like questions it or says, yeah, prove it, I don't buy this. Dinosaur? No, that's unbelievable. No, everyone just rolls with it. It's fine. And I buy it.
No, me too.
Given everything they've just went through, I buy it.
We've got magic staffs here, why not?
Magic staffs with big bulletproof shields. Not quite bulletproof, more they slow the bullet down enough that it kind of loses its momentum by the time
it... a really spongy thing almost.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of, yeah. So it's almost like a really, really, really thick bulletproof vest that kind of slows it down as it's going through it.
It's like really thick gunk.
Yes, thick gunk. Yeah. We'll go with that. So Nico uses that to like shield him from gun. Because the whole thing was that obviously there's like the cousin like calls Alex's dad, calls Jeffrey, and he's like, hey, you know, got your son, all these threats. And what I think was interesting about all this stuff building up to the rescue is that I think, okay, in a typical concept, I know exactly how this scene goes. What I thought made it interesting was because Alex already has this murky opinion of his dad because he's already seen him do this stuff as the Pride, and he's already sort of had a sense that, oh, maybe he's not actually that great a guy. And I feel like it's really interesting that Alex sitting there, like, he should feel threatened, and he does a lot. You know, he has that moment where he almost goes for the gun in the bag and other things like that. But you kind of get this feeling like a lot of this he's just listening and taking it in and being like, you know, really thinking about, yeah, this kind of just confirms my suspicions.
It's more learning who his dad is than being terrified.
And I kind of like that. I like that he tries to apologise and says he's nothing like his dad. I mean, clearly these people don't want to entertain this.
It's not about him. They don't really care about him. They're just like, you're just here to get him. Just, you know, just go with it. We don't want to hurt you. We just want to get him.
Now, I appreciate Jeffrey like coming in to save his son, but was I the only one who was thinking he just opened fire while his son was standing right there? Like he's
apparently he and his 3 men are very good shots.
Red shirts, the red shirts. Let's call them what they are. Yeah. But he just like starts a gunfight with Alex standing in the middle of the whole thing, and I'm like, I feel like you can maybe like pick your opportunity a little bit better than that. Maybe when Alex is already in the car, perhaps, and then start gun blazing.
Oh, no, it's not a bad plan.
Just tactics, you know. And the kids have driven here, and by the way, I love the Carolina's like chaotic stunt woman driving as she's like ducking and diving between all the other cars, and Molly's like really into it, and Gert's just like, I'm going to die. All of it was fun. All of it was.
It was.
And obviously we had the flashback at the start. We actually find out just what he did for Jeffrey. That he feels that he's owed. And to be fair, it does as much as this character's not likable and he is like a gangster and he is like threatening people and he's doing all these really bad things, you do actually kind of feel a little bit of sympathy as to why he feels owed. Or at the very least, maybe not sympathy for him, but you at least feel like, oh no, Jeffrey's a dick.
I understand why he's like this, because you know, obviously they were like this already to an extent, but there was this sense of loyalty and honor, and he thought he was going to get back, and then he just got shafted.
Yeah, so basically what happened, so we get a new, well, kind of new, we'll talk about how new he is at the end of the episode, but we got Julian McMahon showed up in the flashback, and he's there to make Jeffrey an offer, because his uncle left him this land in the city. He wants it, he's going to pay, what was it, $5 million for it?
$5 million, yeah.
Yeah, and we see that, Catherine, remember all the parents' names, still a struggle. But Catherine is his lawyer, and she's there, and she's like, and you can tell they're being flirty right now, but they're maybe, I mean, I don't know how much they were dating before they were client and lawyer, but whatever. But they clearly have this thing, and she's sort of sticking up for him. But he's like, no, I'm not here to like, I'm not from the DA's office. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm not here to like try and prosecute you. No. I want to buy this land off you. I'll pay you $5 million. But they quite rightly go, that's more than it's worth, and if you're willing to pay $5 million for it, then there's something else going on here. And it kind of shows you Jeffrey's character in the sense that he's not willing to just take the easy pay, because he even suggests, what about instead of this, you know, this is in Compton, this is like, you need a partner who understands that area. I can do that. Let's be partners, and clearly it's, you know, we see in the future, in present day, it's worked for him because he's built a life for himself.
Yeah, and we get a hint from his cousin as well. You know, he mentions how later on he mentions to us that he got his dad's old ground, his turf, but he says either it's not as lucrative as it was then, or he doesn't have the same social skills, which really tells you a lot about Jeffrey, that he is a good talker. He's good with the community. Yeah,
but it's how he got to this is because he shot someone, and that's what he makes his cousin like say that he did it. Like he says, no, you take the blame for this, and it'll get me out quickly, and I can actually improve things. And he makes him all these promises. Yeah, you're going to do about 10 years for me, possibly more, but like when you come out, like, I'll take care of your nan. Like she'll be taken care of for the rest of your life. You'll be taken care of.
Yeah, the kids.
It won't just be like, hustling on the street anymore. Like it'll all be different. I'll improve the life for everyone. And he goes along with it. And seemingly he did not keep good on that word. So no wonder he's pissed. He did 10 years for the man, and he's got nothing to show for it.
Yeah, I think it's funny that I wonder if Jeffrey thinks that he did actually repay him by, you know, giving him his old turf, because you know, he kind of mentions how he thought it was this honor to be given that. Like that's the impression that he was getting from him, but obviously it's kind of worthless in terms of just pure hold cash that he could have done.
I think I'll disagree with that, just in the sense that we actually see what he says in the flashback, and it doesn't just sound like he's going to give him his old line. No. It sounds like he's going to make sure he's set up.
It does.
With money. So it And I think it did a really good job of, like, especially again since we're kind of in the kids' perspectives of the show, we're kind of following their point of view. I think it does a really good job of, much like Alex in this episode, where you kind of like he seemed like a fairly decent guy, because when they were actually sacrificing the girl back in the first episode, he was the one, or the second episode when we saw more of it, he was the one who seemed like he was having doubts, and he was the one who seemed to have the little moment where he might want to save her. Like, he was almost being the one who's been set up as the sympathetic parent. Yeah. And now it's like, oh, now it's all murky, and we're not sure if we can trust him, if he is a good person. Maybe he is just a bad guy. Like, he's putting on the face that he's a good guy a lot of the time, but maybe deep down he is just a bad... Like, his solution here is to lie to his wife and then go guns blazing to try and get his son back. And then, of course, when Alex actually shoots the kid, the teenager who's about to shoot his dad in the shoulder, he then uses that opportunity. Oh, here's a 17-year-old, let's go and sacrifice him. I've got someone, pride.
Yeah, it was kind of like, well, he's shot anyway, let's make the most of it.
Yeah. So no, that does a good job of making you feel like Alex does, and how you think of him throughout the episode, where as it goes on, you really feel uncomfortable with him, and you feel like, no, he actually is kind of a bad guy. Despite the fact that... Because I think it works really well with Chase's stuff with his dad, and how...
He's become more sympathetic.
He's become more sympathetic, and we see that they're working together, and it feels like he's got a new lust for, like, being an inventor again, because his son's getting into it, and he's really proud of him. He's like, oh, you suck at calculus. What? And he's like, no, I like practical things. I don't like...
Yeah, and you can see why Chase is going to be conflicted going forward. It's like, actually, I've got this good bond going here now. Like, this is the best it's ever been. Because
it actually has a really cool mirroring moment where... he knocks over the little case with like a little laptop in it or something like that off the table, and he picks it up, and he's like really he thinks his dad's going to like yell and maybe hit him. Like he's really worried about it. And Victor kind of notices that. By the way, I loved that the mad scientist is called Victor. I just want to point
There's a classic mad scientist name, isn't it?
It's obviously Victor Frankenstein's the thing you think of, but he kind of notices that his son's scared of him, and he's like, hey, I know I've been kind of tough on you, but I just... he tries to open up, he tries to actually bond with him. And then he's like, oh, I had this old invention that I had an idea for, back before I was rich and all that, and I really wanted to get it to work. Maybe I'll dig it out and we can work on it. And there's this sense of bonding. And when Chase meets up the rest of them later, he talks about it, and he's like, he seems like he's not actually a bad guy. I kind of felt bad for him. I kind of wanted to work with him. And I think it's Gert that says... they may be really bad people, they may be awful people, but they're still kind of our parents.
Yeah.
And I think it was also in reference to Alex saving his dad. Because he's not worth saving, he's still...
And having Nico saying
having Nico, maybe that scene. But I thought that point was really kind of well mirrored throughout the two plots, where he becomes more attached to his father, especially when he finds out he's got brain cancer, and he's worried about that. He's not told his mother yet. And then you've got Alex, where there's that moment where his dad's getting mad at him, and Alex backs away in fear, like he's worried he's about to get hit. And
yeah, his dad, like, he gets animated and lifts his hand. It doesn't look like he's going to hit him at all. He just, moves his hands about, he gets animated, which is a normal thing to do.
Yeah, but he is very stern and angry. Like, he's shouting, he's like, this is my house, which I thought was a really...
He never looks like he's going to hit him.
Yeah, but I think it's a really nice setup for the fact that they're going to run away, because he's like, this is my house, if you're going to live here, you're going to do what I say. It's like, well, fine then.
Yeah.
Premise of the show, I'm off. But I liked that moment because he was getting really angry, and you felt his fear. I do believe that he would never hurt his son. How many other people will he hurt, though? And
oh, exactly. Like, I think Alex was safe anyway, but I understand why he's afraid. Having seen all these things, kind of seeing this person in a new light and going, hang on, you're not the person I've idolized my whole life.
Exactly. So to go back to the rescue, we kind of jumped around, but to go back to the rescue, really fun scene. Everyone gets to use their powers. Carolina gets the bracelet off and blasts them with energy.
Yes.
Cool.
I have a question. She's I forgot to mention this last week, but it's clear that other people see that she lights up.
Yeah.
In the party.
In the first episode,
no one noticed that there's a big glowing girl. Did they all go? It's just the drugs. Are they all on drugs?
Yeah, they were all on LSD. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fine.
That's my argument.
I mean, sure.
Maybe someone did notice. I don't know.
Maybe. I would like it to be brought back up if someone did notice, because
that's fair.
There's a lot of people there.
I mean, I'm happy to forgive it and just sort of let it go, because it was. If I remember right, it was just her arms at that time. It wasn't the whole body like she did now.
Well, I mean,
maybe I'm misremembering. I don't
we
know.
kind of saw it from her point of view. I think her
Yeah,
looking down
that's
at her
true.
arms, so maybe she was all very glowy.
Yeah. Um,
And at the time, I thought it was just her seeing it, so I didn't question it. But
it
now
may
it's become clear that everyone sees it.
it might just be a mistake we're going to have to
Yeah,
live
yeah. No, I'll
with.
live with it, but I think it should be just mentioned.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just wondering if there was maybe a change of opinion after they shot the first episode, where they changed their minds about how they wanted to portray it. I don't know, but
Yeah.
there you go. So she does that, obviously, because they're at the stop sign. Like the bad guys have got Alex in the car, and it's actually, oh, how do we stop? And it's Nico's trying to use the staff. She's like, oh, stop car, stop engine, barrier, whatever, like do something. And it's almost trying to do something. It's almost working. And the other kids are, even before when she was trying to track it, they were making fun of her for trying to use the magic staff. And then it did the whole, heat signature tracking thing. Well, I thought it was a nice visual to do it with.
Oh, that was cool.
But it's not working, and that's when Molly's like, I've got it, and she just runs up and picks up the back of the truck, and it's like,
One way to do it.
And everyone's just like gobsmacked, and of course Chase shows up with his fistigons.
Fistagon. Ugh. Yeah,
I love it.
The previously on said, these are my fistigons. I'm like, oh, for God's sake, stop reminding me.
That's great. It's great.
Oh, it's stupid.
Fistigons, and he blasts them. I mean, it knocks him down, but the guy gets back up. He's just like, "Well, I'm just going to shoot you," and that's when we get the whole magic shield, and we get Molly sleeping on the car behind them because she's. Seemingly, whenever she does a lot of strength, she gets. I wonder if that's something that'll wear off over time as she gets more used to using those muscles, if you will.
Yeah, maybe if she starts. You got to build up to it, like training. You don't just go straight for the biggest weights. You kind of work up to the big.
Yeah, because she didn't fall asleep after she broke back into the door later on, and I feel like that was fair enough because that felt much easier than the car.
It was just a door. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Whereas this is, okay, no, that's a full. It was a big SUV.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's just a case of flexing the muscles and getting better and her body, or maybe it was like the Flash where she has to eat a lot more to give her the energy to do it.
Yeah, could see it.
Just to burn more calories. I could see that. But yeah, so yeah, we have that fun scene where they're all sitting around talking, and we bring up Gert and the dinosaur, and they're basically like, what if the reason for this is just their parents are bad people? What if it's nothing? It's just that simple. They're bad because they try to justify it because Chase is arguing like, what if there's a reason for all this? What if they're doing something? Because I like that we start off with Carolina being my mother's a murderer, because she was the one who was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt before. She was the one who was trying to solve it and say no, they're not this. And at the start of the episode, she's outright convinced. She's like, no, she's a goddamn murderer. And she's wrecking her room later on, and she's throwing things around, and she's absolute chaos. But Chase is trying to argue otherwise because of this stuff with his dad. And it's like, well, yeah, they're still her parents, but they might just be awful people. It just might be that simple. And I kind of like that.
No, me too.
And then they get proactive. They decide they want to save the kid who they've taken, so they all run. Unfortunately for them, they're actually not in the same location. They're actually over at the cult building next to the...
No, it was a reasonable guess, though.
It was a reasonable guess, and they all get in there. They find some camera footage. They find out this camera's been sending footage back to Nico's mother's company, which is apparently...
Conveniently, so Alex can't hack into it.
Yeah, the most secure company in the world, which, I mean, given she makes AI, smart home computers.
I would hope a tech company would be pretty secure. I'm not gonna lie.
You would think so. They need to cross over with Mr. Robot. Get Elliot Alderson on the case. He can get it.
Yeah. Maybe they just employ AllSafe or something.
Oh, what a weird thing to think about, that Mr. Robot turned out to be in the MCU all this time.
Yeah, it was funny. I nearly made a reference earlier when you talked about Chase's dad having not told his mother.
Explain the reference.
About the cancer.
Yeah, explain
he's
the
told
reference.
his son, but he's not told his mother, which is,
Oh, right, okay, Mr. Robot. All right. I thought you meant Marvel.
No.
For some reason, I don't know. I went on a different path. But I get what you're saying. So no, yeah, good stuff. So we see that the ritual works. They put the kid in the sarcophagus, and Leslie's like, oh, it's worked. And I mean, I don't know about you, but did you guess who it was going to be when it was fixed?
No, but then I was like, okay, sure.
I kind of did see it coming. Basically, as soon as as soon as it was like we seen him lying there again, like still old and decrepit with the mask on, and she was like, "Oh, you'll be back again soon. Like we're going to do this." I immediately just clicked that. Oh, that's why we got him in the flashback at the start of the episode.
I'll be honest. I wasn't really thinking about it. I wasn't trying to guess. But then as soon as I saw him at the end, I was like, makes sense. He was introduced at the start. Okay, that's why.
And there's almost no one else it could have been that would have meant anything to anyone.
I wouldn't have been surprised if it had have just been like someone random, which is why I think I wasn't going to guess, because I was just expecting that. And
I think it works mythology-wise, because it builds the history that he started a partnership with Jeffrey, and that maybe led to the rest of the Pride. Like, that they all started this together.
And the idea that something happened to get him in that state in the first place, because he clearly isn't that old, or at least visually wasn't that old to have aged to that horrific extent.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that the place he wanted to buy had something to, like, maybe there's mystical power there or something, and maybe, like, they had to, like, sacrifice 15 teenagers over 15 years to succeed. Like, it was not like he gets, like, young every year again. It's not like he goes old in a year, I don't think. I mean, I'm just guessing. But...
No, but at some point since they made that, so obviously we saw him in the flashback how many years ago. Since that point, he's got to that ancient look.
That implies to me that he already did this at some point, and it ran out, and he's went decrepit again. That's what I was
thinking as well. Yeah. Like, so I'm going, how old is this guy really?
Yeah, it could be hundreds, thousands of years.
Yeah.
Kind of like when Victor was on the hit television show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and he was a vampire. He was like 100 years old.
That it?
Nah, he was like 150 or something. I can't remember. He was younger than Angel. He was the youngest of the four, like, of that team.
Yeah, and I'm just remembering. I'm just thinking it's like, because I thought he was older than that still.
The Master sired Darla, Darla sired Angel, Angel sired Drusilla, and then Drusilla sired Spike.
Yeah.
So he was the youngest out of them. So he was like,
he was
150 years or something like that. But he wasn't. Whereas Angel, I think, was like 200 years. Darla was older. I think Darla might have been 800 years actually. She might have been really old, but.
For some reason, I thought Angel was like 500. But...
Nah, I wasn't 500. No.
I can remember some of when we see him in in flashbacks.
In Ireland, yeah, he's got a really bad Irish accent.
Yeah, it's awful, which is why it's so memorable. I think that might have been like 1700s.
Yeah, so that'd be what, 250.
Yeah, give or take.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a weird tangent to go on.
It wasn't really related, but it's your fault for referencing it every bloody time.
My name is Liam. He had a really bad Irish accent.
If
anything, I did a better job than he did in the show.
Yeah, and that was pretty bad as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So the other big thing I think that goes on here. I mean, obviously the big montage at the end of everyone kind of like being wherever they are, and they're upset, angry, whatever.
Episode ended.
Yeah, Nico and Alex, of course, have their moment where she's like really glad to have him back. She was really worried, so they end up kissing and having a moment, and then the awkwardness of Carolina having to, hey, Chase found something.
Yeah. Oh, it says a hidden camera, and then it's literally just a camera just sat there. I was expecting it to be like this little, like pinhole camera hidden in something.
Yeah, I feel like they called it that, but really it's not hidden because they don't expect anyone else to be there. They know it's there. It's just
right, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's just because it's small and it was kind of on a shelf between books.
Yeah, but just hey, Chase found a camera would have worked.
Nico got caught putting the staff back, but funnily enough, her mother didn't grill her, didn't get mad. She was like, oh, this was passed down. It wasn't passed. It was passed down to her by her mother. But she's like, her mother didn't give her much else. But that's the one thing she got. She got this.
Oh no! Interestingly, it says my mother never gave me anything, which implies that she took it.
Yeah. But it was passed down her family, though, right? It
was passed down the family, yeah. It's definitely something to do with the family line that lets them use it.
And then she's like, no, you keep it for the night. I trust you. And she's trying to like build her.
Because I hope you can trust me again.
Which again kind of ties back into the theme of the episode, where some of the parents are actually starting to be a bit more sympathetic again. And I like that again. The most sort of likable ones, Gert and Molly's parents. It's actually Gert and Molly this episode because they actually go down to the dinosaur. And they're like, stroking the dinosaur, and they're sitting with it. Molly's still a little bit scared, which I kind of liked. I like that she's not completely comfortable with this yet.
Yeah, it's like when you get like a new dog, but it's a big dog.
Yeah.
And the small kid's a bit like, hey, this is still a big dog. I'm pretty small.
Yeah, this dog could eat me, So
Yeah,
maybe
exactly. And then that's an understandable feeling around a dinosaur.
Yes, yes. But they're like, no, maybe our parents are awful. They're the ones who actually say that phrase, and it's kind of because they actually have the most likable parents. You know,
Yeah.
Stein's such a hard ass. Like, well, you know, Alex's dad used to be a gangster, and he's clearly still got connections. To, you know, he's still willing to show up to a gunfight the way he did in this episode. Alex's mom always looks like she wants to kill everyone in front of her. Which, by the way, Alex's mom, Catherine, I was wondering where I knew her from.
Go on.
And it was bugging me. She was actually in Trial and Error earlier this year. She was the news reporter in the town, and it was a completely different character than what she's playing in this. She was always smiling. She always, like, the whole joke was she would like, it wasn't quite You Heard Repaired from Parks and Rec. It was more she would always make it sound like John Lithgow's character, who was accused of murder, was already guilty. She'd always say, "Oh, so the murderer," you know, whatever his name was on the show. Like, but it was a funny running gag. But she was on every episode of that, and I was wondering where she'd seen her for. And I think I recognised her, but because she's like the opposite in terms of she's always like really sort of stern and angry in this show, I never clicked. That's where I saw her from.
Demeanor can do a lot to change
It can.
how recognisable someone is.
It really can.
Anyway, pretty good episode, this, though.
It was pretty good.
I enjoyed it. Definitely my favourite.
It's definitely my favourite, and we've left out one little other thing as well, a big seed for the future. Because this invention that Victor used to work on, he's pulled it out, and he's not even mad that Chase like ran off to go and help his friends. He's like, "Oh yeah, me and your mother had to step out as well. It's fine. Come look at this. This is what I was working on. It's a time machine." And I'm like, "Time machine? We're getting time machines in this?"
I know.
And he's like, "It's not like the movies where you can travel, you know, around. You can't take people in time, but it folds gravity in itself and folds light in itself, so we can see a glimpse of the future." So okay, and he turns it on and he's like, "Show us the future of Los Angeles." And I was actually thinking, surely you need to specify a year if you're just controlling it.
Yeah, I thought that too.
But then again, if it's not an exact science, maybe it's just a case of you don't get to pick. It's just whatever you folded in. It just has to be that.
This is what you get.
But it doesn't work right away, so he gets angry and throws it away.
Do you know what? I actually thought at first that was it working. It was blank because there is no future of LA.
Which still actually works with what we see later.
It does. But that's what I was thinking.
But no, he gets angry, throws it away, and that's when we get the whole reveal that he's got a tumor, and you know, Chase is conflicted because like, "Oh, you might be evil, but I'm starting to bond with you, and like now you've got cancer, and I feel bad about that." But as they walk out, we get this the final moment. We get this little glimpse of the future. We see it's really, and I like how it's like a really small CRT. It's really static and fuzzy, and it's like,
yeah, you don't get a clear shot, so it hides CG budget of it.
It does, but I actually think it makes it more atmospheric. It's more effective.
It does, yeah.
But you see, like, the city, like, the buildings start falling down, they're just crumbling. And what I thought was really funny is, I don't think it is, I think this is completely unique to this show, but I kind of chuckled and went, is this tying into S.H.I.E.L.D. this season with what's going to happen in the future and that? Because it seems pretty similar.
It does, yeah.
I don't think so, though. I feel like this is what's going to happen if they're successful. Like, if Julian McMahon's character, Jonah, as his name is, because that's who it is, that wakes up, we kind of tangented away from that as we were getting to it.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned that, there was no one else it could be, but it was him. Yeah,
him from who made the offer at the start of the episode in the flashback. He's Jonah, he's back. Him and Leslie are romantically entwined. Her poor husband thinks he's going Ultra in a little tent, and then
they're like, nah, you're not.
Yeah, you're not ready for Ultra. You're ready for maybe very hard mode, but not Ultra.
I wonder, I was wondering how old he was.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking in terms of the name Jonah. The only thing I think was the in the Bible Jonah in the whale.
Oh, you think it's him?
Maybe it's if they want to go that way, I won't be disappointed.
Oh, I won't complain.
Like if you go, oh no, he's ancient like that.
I mean, that's older than Spike. Cool. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, damn right it is.
That's an idea. That said, I feel like people have used the name Jonah since then, so I also wouldn't expect that necessarily.
No, I won't expect it. I just in terms of, it's the only thing I've got to go on right now. So
I think it's out the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Again, people who've read the comics are like just laughing at us right now for talking complete nonsense.
But we have no context, so
and we don't want to know. We want to let
the
we want to let the show tell us on its own terms. So no. So yeah, really cool episode. I think the kids all bonded. I feel like we're actually a lot closer to them making their choices to run. Part of me was even thinking partway through this that they might do it at the end of the episode, because they were also like sure their parents were awful.
It's funny how last episode we were kind of saying, okay, well, yeah, it's probably going to be the end of the season.
Yeah, I still think it might be the end of the season, but I feel like the actual ramping up's a lot more exciting this episode.
Yeah, I don't think anymore it's just going to be a snap decision of let's run away. It's going to be a lot of planning.
Yeah.
Like they'll be like, no, we can't stop this. Let's just get out the way.
Yeah, I feel like it'll coincide with the parents realizing they know.
Yeah. I think it has to be after the parents have already achieved their goals, because otherwise it makes them a little unlikable in the sense that you go, well, why don't they stay and try and stop them, try and save more people?
Yeah.
But if the parents have already achieved their goals and they know that, then you go, well, there's nothing
at least
they could do.
Yeah, at least to a point, because I feel like, obviously, again, I've not read the whole series or anything like that, but I feel like past that point, the Runaways themselves, I'm just using that as to call them the group of kids.
Yeah.
I feel like their stories then stopping whatever their parents have done, or like reversing it, or saving the world.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
But if they just run away, like while the parents are still taking people, for example, it kind of feels a little unlikable that they're just kind of going, oh no, we're not gonna try. We're just gonna go and.
Well,
leave.
it depends how you take running away, because like. To me, I don't actually think they're running away to just like leave city and run far away. To me, I feel like runaway is getting out from under the houses so they're not in danger, because they feel like they're in danger. But they'll still be in the city trying to like plan against them and work things out.
Yeah,
and,
okay.
You know, break into Nico's mother's company to steal footage for evidence and whatnot. So I can see that. But I think this episode sort of said that to me though, is because they made a point. No, we're going back to save that kid, and they fail, but. The idea that they're going to want to try and stop whatever they're doing if they know it's bad. They're like, no, we're going to deal with this. And I feel like Jonah's plan, like he ultimately, it's going to be his evil doing, I imagine, that's going to
Probably.
cause...
He seems like the evil mastermind behind it all.
Yeah. And he wants to see Carolina. That was actually the final moment we ended on, is that he's like, well, we assume that's who he's talking about.
Yeah, they never say, he just says he wants to see her.
Her real father, I imagine?
That's my assumption too. I think it's kind of the easy and obvious choice.
Interesting that Leslie looked concerned about that. She didn't look thrilled about the idea.
Probably because she's never told Carolina.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, now I've got to explain this.
It could just be that, yeah. She's like, oh, by the way, yeah, your real father, this is him. Long story, but, you know.
yeah. He was an old flaky dude 3 hours ago, but now look at him. He looks great.
Hey, Jonah knows she loves him because she was like snuggling up even when he was old and flaky looking.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
He was like, yeah, pick my flaky bits off. I need to deflate.
It's commitment right there.
That's love. Nothing says love like changing the bedpan.
Exactly.
Alright, well I guess that's Runaways episode 5. I liked that a lot. It's nice to feel that way. It's nice to feel like it's that. I mean, cause I think we've been enjoying all the episodes so far to some extent, but it's nice that it stopped being kind of level and started to rise up, and improve, and like get better.
I think the kids actually actively going and doing something has really helped.
Yeah, big thing for me as well. I'm really glad that the end of the last episode did prove to Carolina, no, my mother is guilty of something. Like she's not just. It's not a misunderstanding. Like I'm glad that's.
Yeah, I like that they're all kind of on the same page as to okay, no, they've done bad things, but then they're questioning whether how much that matters. They're still their parents. That moral quandary is much more interesting than just oh no, they can't be guilty.
Yeah, absolutely. So, no, there you go. So we're enjoying Runaways. Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mail_fudge for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com/mailfudgetv. You can do that. And there'll be a link to that in the description in the corner of the video, and all the other useful links in the description. So that is us. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching TV, guys. We'll see you next time. Have you got any vanilla?